Look at your hands. Really, look at them. Everything you've ever wanted, the wealth, the influence, the respect, is currently slipping through your fingers like dry sand. And do you want to know why? It's because of that vision board. It's because of that 5-year plan tucked away in your desk. It's because of every New Year's resolution you've ever whispered to a universe that isn't listening. Pause. Your goals aren't maps to your future. They are the anchors keeping you drowning in your present. Today, we aren't just changing your mindset. We are burning the map. We are deleting your goals and replacing them with something much more dangerous. Most people spend their entire lives in a state of becoming. They are waiting for the promotion to feel powerful. They are waiting for the bank account to feel secure. They are living in the not yet. But the not yet is a psychological trap. It's a dopamine mirage that keeps you soft, anxious, and worst of all, predictable. You've been told that to succeed you need a destination, but Machiavelli, the coldest strategist to ever walk the earth, knew better. He knew that the moment you fixate on a destination, you become a target. This is Thought Thrust. If you are the type of person who finds comfort in inspirational quotes, leave now. This channel is for the architects of reality, the ones who understand that power is grown in the dark and executed in silence. If you're ready to stop being a dreamer and start becoming an inevitability, hit subscribe. Join the circle. Let's look into the eyes of the serpent. Niccolò Machiavelli did not live in a world of manifesting or positive affirmations. He lived in the scent of iron and the cold draft of stone corridors. He understood a truth that modern society has tried to bury under layers of toxic positivity. The world does not care about your intentions. It only bows to your results. Most modern minds are too fragile to grasp his core concept, Fortuna. Machiavelli saw life as a violent, flooding river. If you build your identity on the riverbank of a goal, you are building on a graveyard. When the flood comes, and it always comes, the goal setter is swept away, crying about how unfair the world is. But the strategist has already spent the dry season building dams, digging canals, and reinforcing the foundations. Why do your goals fail? Because a goal is a psychologically fragile. A goal is a wish wearing a cheap suit. When you tell your subconscious, "I want to make $1 million," you are actually screaming, "I am currently a person who is incapable of attracting wealth." You are operating from a deficit mindset. You are a beggar at the gates of your own future. Machiavelli suggests a lethal pivot to virtue. This isn't the virtue they taught you in school. This is raw, clinical, strategic vitality. It is the power of the architect over the wood. A Machiavellian doesn't aim for a result. They engineer a structural inevitability. Think of it as a siege. When a general lays siege to a city, he doesn't hope the walls fall down. He cuts off the water. He starves the resistance. He tunnels under the gates. He makes the fall of that city the only possible mathematical outcome. Stop being a goal setter who relies on the luck of the draw. Become a strategist who relies on necessitas, necessity. When your system is perfected, success isn't a win, it's just the last thing left standing. Now, let's talk about the psychological poison you've been drinking every single day: validation. The second you tell someone your goal,
You have committed strategic treason against yourself. Your brain is a primitive, lazy organ. It cannot tell the difference between a real accomplishment and a social one. When you broadcast your ambitions, your brain is flooded with premature dopamine. You get the high of the victory without ever stepping on to the battlefield. You feel satisfied, you feel seen, and because you feel satisfied, your hunger dies. Every time you speak about what you're going to do, you are leaking the very fuel you need to actually do it. Machiavelli mastered the art of dissimulation, the fox and the lion. The lion is magnificent, but he's loud. He roars his location to the world. He falls into the pit. But the fox is a ghost. He moves in the silence between heartbeats. He sees the traps because he isn't blinded by his own ego. To win in this world, you must be the fox who wears the lion's skin only when it's time to strike. Starting today, you are under the ghost protocol. Delete the entrepreneur or aspiring labels from your bio. Stop giving your friends status updates on your progress. Stop seeking the cheap applause of people who are stuck in the mud. Instead of a goal, you will carry a secret agenda. A goal is, I'm going to lose 30 pounds and look great. That's a cry for a compliment. A secret agenda is, I am going to rebuild my body into a high-performance machine, disciplined that my mere presence in a room makes others feel their own lack of control. Do you feel the weight of that? A goal is for the applause. A secret agenda is for the conquest. The goal setter wants to be liked. The Machiavellian wants to be indispensable. While the world is shouting about their dreams, you will be silent. You will be the shadow in the corner. You will be building your bomb in the dark. And by the time they hear the fuse burning, it will already be too late to run. Now we enter the inner sanctum, the place where most men fail before they even start. Modern culture has fed you a diet of self-love. They tell you to be gentle with your shortcomings. They tell you to embrace your flaws and listen to your body when it screams for rest. They've turned you into a mediator for your own mediocrity. Machiavelli would look at your self-care and see a kingdom in ruins. He famously asked, is it better to be loved or to be feared? His clinical conclusion was that while being both is ideal, it is far safer to be feared. Now look at the man in the mirror and ask yourself, does your mind fear you? Or does it treat you like a weak parent it can easily manipulate? When you let yourself hit snooze, when you eat the poison, when you choose the scroll over the grind, you are not loving yourself. You are allowing a rebellion to take place in your own mind. Your impulses are usurpers, your cravings are terrorists, and you are currently a prince who is negotiating with the mob. Starting today, you must become your own internal tyrant. A sovereign does not hope his subjects obey. He demands it. You must develop a deep, visceral fear of your own potential for failure. You should be terrified of the version of you that is exactly the same 1 year from now. This isn't about being mean to yourself. It's about sovereignty. When you command your body to move and it obeys without a single whisper of dissent, you have achieved the only true freedom that exists, self-mastery. In the Machiavellian world, power is not given, it is seized from the hands of the weak. And the weakest person in your life is the version of you that wants comfort. Kill that version. Burn the bridges back to your old habits. When you become a tyrant over your own soul, the world will eventually treat you like a king. If we delete the goal, what replaces the void? We replace the fragile dream with the triple pillar of power. This is the geometry of the siege. Pillar 1. Strategic positioning. Stop asking what you want to achieve and start asking where you must be standing. Machiavelli didn't just want power, he studied the proximity to the Medici. Success is not a sprint, it is a location. If you want wealth, you don't set a goal for money. You change your environment, your circle, and your focus until wealth becomes the only logical byproduct of your existence. You don't hunt the deer.
You wait at the only waterhole in the forest. Pillar 2. Asymmetrical leverage. The goal setter works in linear lines. 1 + 1 = 2. The strategist works in exponents. You must stop using brute force for everything. Machiavelli didn't fight every battle with his own men. He used alliances, technology, and the momentum of his enemies. Ask yourself, what is the smallest move I can make that creates the largest possible collapse in my obstacles? Use other people's platforms. Use automated systems. Use the weight of the current market. A strategist doesn't want to work harder. They want to be the one holding the lever that moves the world. Pillar 3. Anti-fragile adaptability. The goal setter is a candle. The moment the wind of reality blows, they go out. They cry that the plan didn't work. The Machiavellian is the fire. He doesn't just survive the wind, he wants the wind. He uses the oxygen of chaos to burn hotter. There is no plan A and plan B. There is only the objective and the terrain. If the terrain shifts, if you lose your job, if the relationship ends, if the industry dies, you don't complain that the map is wrong. You look at the ground, find the new angle of attack, and you pivot. When you master these 3 pillars, you stop being a victim of Fortuna. You stop waiting for the right time. You realize that the right time is whenever you decide to impose your will upon the chaos. You have 2 choices when you finish this video. You can go back to your goals. You can go back to the dopamine of dreaming and the safety of being gentle with yourself. You can stay a servant to a future that will never arrive. Or you can start the siege. You can delete the labels, silence the talk, and become the fox. You can wake up tomorrow and for the first time in your life, look at the world not as a place to be accepted, but as a terrain to be mastered. The path of the strategist is a lonely one. It is dark, it is cold, but the view from the top is only reserved for those who were willing to climb in the shadows. If you are ready to stop wishing and start commanding, you belong here. This was only the beginning. In our next session, we are going into the dark psychology of social engineering. How to read a room before you even enter it. Subscribe to Thought Thrust. Don't just watch the game, own the board.